Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. We're back, baby. We're back. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Nostradamus, East Tennessee Preparedness, Hunter 25, Mr. B, local in the house. Coffee first, then speak. Charmaine Montgomery, Patty S. My mother, Spark, is cooking dinner.
Thanks for all of us. You brought enough for everybody, didn't you?
I'm absolutely starving. Tonight, no agenda. No agenda tonight. There's so much going on. There's so much we could talk about.
Indiscriminate.
And there's so much that everybody's already talking about. I don't think we really need to hit that button again on everybody. William K's, what's happening? Shauna Wood, welcome. Uncle Tron in the house, what's happening? Teresa Buchanan. Yeah, guys, there is a whole lot of crap going on, man. It is
too much.
Too much. Yeah, between Balloon Gate and toxic chemical spills and We All Gonna Die Wednesday, man, holy shit.
And as you know, in terms of like the past week, Wednesday was actually kind of a calm day.
Yeah. It wasn't so bad today, but we're learning a lot today about everything that's been going on. But in the meantime, Livingston, man, could you roll that beautiful bean footage?
Air raid siren. There could be none of that. None of it. And poof. Fucking bombs everywhere. Poof. Fucking people getting gunned down in the streets. Fucking citizens have had enough of your shit. Revolution's coming. Revolution's coming. We're fucking done. Revolution's coming. Tell us to take it on the chin. Not likely. You're gonna fucking take it on the chin. When the revolution comes, no sirens, no bells, no fucking whistles. It's just gonna fucking arrive like the morning. Better prep the fuck up. Peace.
Welcome back to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. And oh man, balloons gonna get us. Toxic chemical spills actually might get us from the looks of things. There's just so much going on tonight, guys. And I don't want to talk about any of it. How was your day? How was your day today? What did you guys do today? How was your day today?
As we were watching that intro, I started to think that this whole like Ohio thing, I'm just going to broach the subject here.
Okay.
And we're going to leave it. But I have lived in this constant state of denial of Ohio.
Yeah. I know. This sounds familiar.
This feels like a real effort to for some reason prove to me that like Ohio is real. And I'm like, you guys are like caught up in this. And I'm like, you guys have not been listening, have you?
Yeah.
Talking about false flags and misinformation. This is a place even exists.
You know what? I think STX Preparedness hit the nail on the head when he said a certain person's list was made public this week, and perhaps, that's everything is being pushed into the mainstream because of this list.
Well, okay, I also read that, whatever, I read that in an article somewhere. Post a link then to Epstein's list if you got it. Let's do this.
Yeah, for real.
Let's do this.
William Alexander, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Hey, something's coming, right? I mean, just keeps building on building. If you are not into preparedness, perhaps you should, maybe just take a look and think about it. And
it's not always a global event like we've said before.
No, it's very localized.
A localized thing like this.
And people, what do I need a bug out bag for, Mike? Why do I need a bug out bag? It's like, well,
in case the EPA kicks your door and is like, you got to run there, the train blowing up, son.
So
how much time do I have now?
Yeah, you don't have time. And things are crazy down there, and I think we're going to find out more and more as the days pass how bad this really was. Some people are calling it the Ohio Chernobyl.
Maybe a little extreme, but yeah, in a way, the parallels are there.
Yeah, I mean, not on a nuclear scale, but a chemical scale, right? I mean,
well, it's they got a lot of similarities. You got a mismanagement,
sure.
Then disaster unfolds, and then I don't know. They were kind of either didn't know what to do about it, or to give them credit, they did the only thing. It was either going to blow or they were going to blow it, but either way, it was blowing up.
Yeah, I don't think they were going to stop it.
So, but then it caused a toxic plume, and it floated over places that it didn't happen.
So I wonder when I was down in Pennsylvania, when this happened, and Jason and I had gone to the Great American Outdoor Show. The one morning there was a terrible, terrible smell, right? Like this horrid stench when we walked out of the hotel. And I don't know if the dates correlate with when this thing caught fire or blew up or whatever, but we were pretty far away from there,
What goes up must come down. Those big dramatic pictures you saw, that giant black cloud, if that goes up, it comes down.
Yeah. There's going to be fallout from this. I did catch a glimpse of a map that they had out today. And yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. 300 survival. What's happening, my friend? Welcome.
All I wanted to say about it, but I mean, I know you didn't want to get into none of that.
No, but it's something that we should talk about because it really lends to, you need to be more prepared, guys. You need to have your stuff to be able to be mobile as much as possible.
This was a situation, and in my understanding, authorities came out and was like, "Nah, y'all got to go now."
Yeah, exactly.
And in that situation, if you're not prepared, you don't at least have a bag with some stuff. You're just a refugee at the mercy of whatever system puts you in that predicament in the first place.
Exactly. They're going to point and say, "Go this way." Johnny Preps, I think that's already passed, my friend. The map that I saw was from the 8th of February. So that's, way past tense, and that has already passed over us. Any warning that we could have had, whatever, the damage has been done, friends. The damage has been done, and it will continue, I think, to show itself, to rear its ugly head, probably pretty far away from where it first began, because, like the Livingston man said, what goes up must come down. So it's gonna be really interesting going forward.
Pioneer spirit. There's actually a reason they can test bones, their age, and even figure out where they lived when they dig them up. Based on, his question was, he wondered how much fallout came from the atomic bombs detonated in the USA. They have a whole place out in Nevada. They conducted hundreds of tests.
Yeah.
And these plumes, at the time, they didn't know what radiation was and how it worked and every other thing. Or worse, maybe they didn't care. But no, these plumes, there's a reason that a certain generation of Americans succumb to many, many different kinds of cancers. There's a reason, strontium 90, I believe it is. They find it in all your bones. If you're born after 1945, you have strontium 90 in your bones. Mm-hmm. And they can figure out where you lived, how old, all kinds of stuff based on these radiation markers that are in all of us.
Wild. Oh, Alexandra the Great, driving along and listening. Thank you so much, sister. Safe travels to you. But yeah, guys, it's absolutely crazy. Some of the video that I saw of the plastic melting off of people's mirrors on their cars nearby, the etching of the glass in the cars.
When it get rained on?
Yeah, they had it.
That's what I mean. That's how it comes down.
And they said that they were detecting some of this stuff in the water now. They're testing wells, and Yeah, it's not going to be good, man. It's not going to be good. I think we're going to find out that the effects of this are very far-reaching. So
it's not something you like want to really make a habit of doing. That's for sure. Now, I guess we were joking before the live stream. I was like, first we must assign blame.
Yeah.
And so,
and then vilify. We're going to vilify.
Like who's the asshole here? I mean,
it looks like there was some sort of system failure. It sounds like everything kind of worked the way it should have, but maybe not as fast as it was supposed to. They have sensors that are supposed to pick up these things. They're like heat sensors that monitor the wheels on the train.
Okay, right.
So they drive past these things, and if anything's hot, it lights up and it sends them a message and says, "Hey, you got a problem. Shut it down." And apparently that system didn't work as fast because after it was reported to the conductor, there was an emergency brake applied, and then all hell broke loose. Lucky Dame, I really, really hope not, but I am afraid you may be right. If we all make it that far, pending,
it is Wednesday, and you know what that means.
And again, they will cover up this as much as humanly possible, and say everything is fine, even though it may not be.
Unfortunately, I think we must assume that the truth is never told.
If you live west of this, you probably aren't going to have too much of a problem unless you're like really close west. But yeah,
Jetstream winds tend to push.
It would have been really cool to say, "Hey guys, there's this thing going on here, and you should probably, maybe stay inside and tape up your windows and stuff." But I think we're going to find this stuff as far away as Canada. Honestly, I really do.
I think it says a lot that a good portion of Americans, I figure, automatically will jump to like anything but the official explanation. They're like, that's bullshit. Yeah. Like out of pocket. You know what I mean?
Yep. Let's see. 500 Magnum says, Mike, would you say a sewing machine is a very underrated for a prepper? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. When you can't go to the store and get something anymore, you're going to have to mend your goods. That's something that Just Josh talks about a lot.
Sure.
He's trying to take up sewing now. He's trying to learn as much as he can because he knows that stuff's going to wear out, and he's going to have to fix stuff because he won't be able to go to a store at some point and replace it. And I think it goes even further than just like sewing.
You're going to have to learn how to actually make this stuff yourself.
Well, yeah. You may have to make a handle for a shovel. You may have to, make a handle for an axe or a hatchet or something to that effect. But being a resourceful individual kind of goes hand in hand with preparedness. And hopefully you guys are learning things like that. I mean, if you could find a manual sewing machine, one of them real old school ones, even better, something that doesn't require power, then you're really in it for the long haul. But I mean, even just knowing a simple needle and thread and how to tie it off and make sure you can, tie it off on both ends when you're done, can go an awful long way. See, Old Mutt knows. Repurpose things as much as possible. You got to think outside the box sometimes, I'm glad I'm a clothing designer. That's awesome, 300. That's awesome. Lucky Dame says, I'm curious what livestock farms are nearby in that area of Ohio or the path of the smoke. Yes. I saw actually an article about a woman's chickens who had passed away out in her yard. I don't know how far away that they lived from this, but she had video and her chickens were fine. And as soon as they lit the thing up, a few hours later, the chickens were no longer with us. So it's definitely affecting things. And I think as time goes on, we're going to find that the damage was a lot bigger than initially thought. So it's something to definitely keep an eye on and remember what happened there. And what help could they possibly give? Aside from just saying, get out of the way. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
You got a red flag. I'm going to flag on the comment.
Yeah, we are the resistance. I agree with that. It says, one thing I'm concerned about with train derailments is another soft spot that can be easily sabotaged just by removing the spikes in a large section. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. It's scary. And, you know, with the revelation that came out about the Nordstrom thing, that whole big article.
Remember that? Somebody blew up an underwater pipiline. Remember that?
Well, they actually blew up 2 of them in a couple different spots.
We don't know who did it. I don't know who did it.
So they don't know who did it.
Like 3 countries on the planet got the capability to pull that off, and none of them did it.
Needless to say, it
Bond villains, bro.
It happened.
This Elon Musk fella, he's out of control. Like, you think this Wagner guy from Ukraine is wild? Wait till Elon gets his army of robots, bro.
So it's interesting because I watched a podcast that actually Jay Creature sent me, and it was about a guy who was a journalist. And he was covering I don't know if it was a get together from a lot of old military folks. Their job was CIA. Their job was to be in Russia and live normal lives and build their own cover in Russia. And if Russia was ever to attack, they were to go into Russia and create acts of sabotage and vandalism, and basically just wreak havoc inside of Russia. And, you know, when Russia invaded Ukraine, there was a lot of that stuff going on inside Russia. And he was like, you know, the light bulb went off for him immediately that I know exactly what's happening right now. And yes, Prepper Book Club, exactly, the sleeper cells. And they're all over the place, man. They're all over the place. And I would imagine that there are probably some here that may be capable of doing the same things. Prepping Mantis, what's happening, my friend?
Due to their unconventional nature, if you want to look at these in the terms that it's some sort of attack, well, then it harkens back to the old Jade Helm scare.
Yeah.
You know, like where they look it up. I ain't gonna sit here and explain it.
Well, that's, what do they call that? That public-private partnership, right? That's what they do. Those big training exercises where they involve.
But there's got to be the ones that they don't tell you about, or they need to test a vulnerability, or they need to, the same way they turn hackers loose on new software. They're like, see if they can break in.
Yeah.
It kind of stinks of what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Someone with all this, the balloons, the trains, the power stations, concerns about water infrastructure, all this. Some guy who thought he was the Antichrist locked up the thruway the other day. You seen that?
No.
Just pulled a truck and his trailer like across 4 lanes or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like someone is testing something's vulnerabilities / capabilities.
Absolutely, like constant probing attacks to see which cog that they throw into the wheel is going to make the whole thing come off.
Or like a security study, even on our own part. I guess if you want to call it a false flag, but see, there's no false flag here because all they keep saying is we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's the big one. They don't know.
They don't know.
We don't get a lot of answers, right? We don't get a lot of answers, and I got some questions. And I know. Everybody out there does too. You know, y'all got questions.
And let me speak for the group when I feel like the people in a position of authority aren't being entirely transparent and or truthful with us.
There it is. Do you feel, guys, like, okay, so give me a 1 in the chat if you feel like we live in a constant state of propaganda and fear porn. Right? Give me a 1 in the chat if we live in a constant state of propaganda. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's left wing or right wing. It's all freaking propaganda. And it's, what do they call it? The fog of war, right, Livingston Man?
It's information overload.
Absolutely.
You're given so much that you really just, you can't.
Oh, the ones are coming. Oh,
you can't focus on any one thing because it's always about a attention span cycle of 2 weeks or so, if that.
Yeah.
And on to the next incredible crisis, you guys. Riddle me this. What was going on like 4 weeks ago?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Yeah. North Korea military parade? No, that was only 2 weeks ago. Maybe that wasn't even that. Hunter says, do we win anything? No, you do not win anything. You win the chance to watch the rest of the live stream.
I'm old enough to remember a big thing like people. There was a new thing where people died suddenly. It just kept happening left and right. People died suddenly. It was trending. Died suddenly, and then it was like,
and now it's,
here's a balloon, you guys. We were like, oh, look at the balloon, you guys.
It did kind of go that way, didn't it?
Just saying. Plus, they showed us Rihanna's pregnant self on the Super Bowl, and everybody lost it over that. And then, nobody even cared about the game. Nobody protested that fake ass holding call. I said it.
It's good to be plugged into a community.
But Rihanna's performance was satanic.
Well, it's nice that we're plugged into a community that can see past a lot of that and look for the actual news inside the news. You have to be like, you remember the Men in Black movie where they would go pick up the tabloids and flip through and find the
best investigative journalist on the planet.
It's Lucky Dame says you can't have a circus without some balloons.
That's right. Do your research.
One for Lucky Dame. That was a good one.
Nice. Militant farmer. I wish I could have been there to witness that and take part, bro.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Punching kids in boxing class. That's like the only time you can do it.
Put your dukes up. Wow,
Dennis Buckner, you know what? You're absolutely right. The missing files, the laptop, all of this stuff it's a scandal fog. It reminds me of when the Hillary Clinton thing came out, and then boom, you got hit with the Edward Snowden revelation, then boom, you got hit with something else, right? There was 3 or 4 different scandals, boom, 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 right on top of each other. So you were pissed off about each one, but didn't really know which one to be more pissed off about or what to do or who to say anything to.
All it really does is make people just apathetic, not care.
Yeah.
And push them. If you're already on the fence and you're wake up and realize that this is indeed real. We're not some conspiracy theorists sitting here preaching some unheard of gospel. This is real. And many, many, many people feel the same way.
Yeah.
That it's all just smoke and mirrors and BS.
Yeah. Well.
And it's time to just live for yourself and your community and never mind all this stuff, basically. Pay attention to it in the context of how events might affect you. But
absolutely.
Other than that, a lot of it is just a lot of people blowing smoke out their ass.
Take note. Use it as entertainment value. I mean, hopefully you guys out there have
the memes, bro. They're so funny.
Well, somewhat of a dark sense of humor can help you get through this stuff. But when it hits home and all of a sudden you can't go home because, toxic chemicals are burning, bro. So you never know, man. You never know. This is why you have to have a bug out bag ready. This is why you have to have your preps stored in a way that you can grab a chunk of them at least, load them up and get out of Dodge. As fast as you can. I mean, if you have a 4-door car and you got 4 people, you pack it so that you can put it in the trunk of your car and get the hell out of there. Some clothes in a bag, some shelter in a bag. If it's a tarp, if it's a poncho.
This would be the notorious bug out bag.
Yeah, well, even if it's a go bag or a get home bag or whatever kind of bag you have a bag and have a plan, an evacuation plan. If you have to leave, where are you going to go? In the event of something like this, you don't know which way the wind is blowing, which way is safe. So it's good to have a plan in all directions, north, south, east, and west.
Now, I know our good friend Outlaw Jackson, who I think he was here anyway, he's taking part in FEMA operations, disaster relief and stuff like this. Now, I wonder, my question, if he knows the answer, is how much time, they show up at your door and you're like, you got to go, knock, knock, come on, let's go. How much time do they even give you? Is there a set thing, come on, let's go? Or is it sort of arbitrary? Like, I need to pack some things. I mean, they can't be just fucking around waiting for people to do, like, pack the hairdryer and stuff, you know?
It's like 3 or 4 days before they will ever show up.
But I also suppose it depends on what is happening. Hurricane, they come in after the fact. But, like, in a case where maybe they knew missiles were coming or something, it might be different.
Yeah.
So my question, if he's still here, is, like, is there... that you know of, like a ballpark time frame, you're allowed to pack before you're out the door and got to get on the bus and go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I would chalk it up to gut feeling. If you look outside and you say something's wrong, you see this big mushroom cloud and black plume in the skies.
It's a little late. You don't have a lot of time.
Oh, shit.
You probably shouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, you probably should not be hanging out at that time. It's time to put the stuff in the car and drive as far away from that as you possibly can.
Yeah, you can't outrun it, right?
Well, if you go the right direction, you might be able to.
Any of you guys have Amazon Prime?
You can't outrun the Amazon Prime truck.
Or if you there's a movie called Trinity and Beyond. It's called Trinity and Beyond. It's the atomic bomb movie, they call it. And they literally show like government like footage of like what nuclear weapons do to houses, buildings, people, all this stuff. And if you're worried about nuclear bombs going off, just know that fortunately you will most likely be one of the 90% of people that dies rather instantly. It's the ones that survive that are actually going to have the hard time.
Yep. It's true. It's true. And the radius of these things, I think it's exaggerated a lot. The radius of a nuclear blast is only a few miles. You get that, total devastation. Now, if you're hitting a big population center, that's a whole lot of people packed.
What you have is a saturation, though. In a full-scale nuclear war, they're hitting all of them at once. Okay. So every hub is out, gone, like, or extremely devastated. 9/11 times 1,000, bro.
Right.
You ain't coming back from it.
That's a tough one.
If that's the one you're worried about, don't, because actually it's going to be real easy. Most of us, myself probably included, be dead.
Gear Guy says, usually for an emergency evacuation, like with the chemical fires, fire police are going door to door saying to get out now. They work from closest to the incident and then further out.
So it's like now.
Yeah, it's like now. No time to pack.
Now, I've never seen somebody's, but I also, in movies and shit, they drive down the streets with like loudspeakers, like, stuff
telling
like
people to get out.
I guess Outlaw's not here. I thought he would have loved to jump in on this, but hell with him.
Oh, he's lurking. Don't let him fool you.
He's eating. He's here for the food.
He's always here for the food. It says, it's funny how the Russian pipeline isn't talked about anymore, maybe because the government had a hand in it. So that's a touchy topic right now. The
rabbit hole.
The CIA is completely denying it.
Who told you about any and all of this? And who do you suppose controls that?
Yeah.
Not that shit that Kanye thought. I'm talking about the government. Before we get it wrong. But that's so, if you mainstream media, of course, we're probably all here because we miss. If you're watching our live stream instead of mainstream media, you already don't trust mainstream media, and I appreciate you.
Amen.
Outlaw said he answered. I didn't see it. It went by too fast.
You're gonna have to scroll and find it. I'm gonna look something up.
He doesn't know with what he was involved with. He rolled in after. Got you.
Share it in the chat.
Share what in the chat? More conspiracy theories, more wild speculation, jump into conclusions. You guys, how about this backdrop?
Oh, yeah. This thing is, we call this the city of nowhere.
It's where we're all going.
Yeah.
Come with us and you can go there. Shout out to my man Patty Roach if he's in the house. It's my good buddy, Mike's brother.
That's true.
My co-conspirator when it comes to the music.
Let's see.
What are you doing? He's on his phone on a live stream.
Well, I want to share something.
He's on his phone
in the chat here, so I got to copy this. I'm sending it. But Militant Farmer had just mentioned this, and let's see here. Boom. Oh, Here we go. Look at this. Boom.
Watching TikToks.
No, I'm trying to get into the YouTube video, but my ads, bro.
We'll wait.
It's actually a really awesome tool to gauge how things are going.
What's that, TikTok?
No.
TikTok's a pretty good tool to gauge how things are going.
It's in there. Nuclearsecrecy.com, the nuke map. You can detonate. No, don't do that. He was trying to share TikTok in there.
He doesn't need to share it, bro. I'm already
But
on.
you can pre-select warheads from just about any country and drop them anywhere you want.
Oh, the nuke map.
Yeah. So you can either air burst these things, which causes massive devastation, but a lot less fallout. The fallout kind of stays in the atmosphere and falls out later, right? Isn't that the way it works? A lot less fallout with
what you think about what you said?
Air burst.
You were like, pretty much,
Yeah, well, it's got to fall out.
It goes away, but it falls.
It's got to fall out at some point, right? But there's a lot less fallout.
Nuclear weapons are complicated, but in a sense, yes.
Georgia Peach, if you actually search Google for fallout shelters, I found a map once upon a time of all of the labeled fallout shelters in New York City. Sure. I was looking for fallout shelters in New York, and I couldn't find a lot of them. What, are you having trouble with the backdrop there?
No, I caught this one camera shot. My eyes looked real blue. I was trying to get it back.
It's the screen. So things seem to be taking a turn for the worse all across the board, Livingston, man.
And you came in talking about you didn't want to talk about none of this.
Yeah, but it
weighs heavy on the mind, and you got to debrief. You got to vent.
I got to get it out. So I come here and I vent to you folks.
Myself, I'm so annoyed. It's disgusted, I suppose, is the proper emotion.
Yes.
The blatant
disregard for public.
Yeah, their willingness to just to lie, say the line, shill, and not look back. It's just so ruthless, so dishonest, so not to be trusted. And yet you're vilified and looked at like an extremist if you don't, or if you question the line, and you're like, but it's BS. And they're like, you're an extremist, you're an outsider. Like, why don't you go live in the Somalia and shit? It's like,
no. We're just average people who want to survive whatever kind of crap that they throw at us. I mean, all joking aside, that's what we really want. See, Outlaw says the same thing. All jokes aside, something's going on in the world. I feel it in the bones.
It's tribulation.
It's things aren't right. Things aren't adding up. When we were in the live stream with Angry Prepper and NY Prepper, it was, we had joked about them sucking us into another dimension, but man, it really fucking feels like it anymore. It's like you're watching the Operation Polar Eclipse day after day after day, right? That was a shameless plug. If you guys haven't checked out Operation Polar Eclipse yet, was it episode 2?
We have a second episode of our Polar Eclipse, which is a spin-off series of Dark Winter by our good friend,
that's nuclear war survival, right? We're literally living through Greg's apocalypse here in the Hudson Valley. So it'll be fun.
Well, it's funny.
Grateful Preps, thank you. That was a great live stream. We wanted to premiere the video, but in a little Grand Ala fashion. Sunset says Yuri Bezmenov. You're absolutely right. Ideological subversion is complete.
Yeah, and an interesting thing to keep in mind is the word apocalypse is actually Greek.
Okay.
It means something akin to lifting of a veil. Something that was previously hidden will be brought forth. It's not so much, it was really the literal translation has nothing to do with an end of the world or any sort of destruction or chaos or any cataclysm. It's more that you'll be shown something. you'll get to see behind the curtain. And I think more and more we are allowed to, and we are seeing more and more of behind the curtain. We're seeing how rotten this structure is, how fake and caulked and patched together it's holding on by like nothing.
A thread, yeah. The foundation is crumbled.
The archaic architects of said system are clinging desperately to it so that it doesn't fucking collapse. But
Absolutely.
All of us are outside shaking it.
Rattle in the cage. Tracy Mickle, no worries, sister. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. We really appreciate you being here. Marco, thank you so much for sharing out the McWick link. Fantastic fire starters, guys.
Thanks for sharing my channel. Have fun with that, you guys. Total Grammy nominated.
Lucky Dame says it means uncovering, roughly. So there you go.
But my definition was a little more dramatic.
Uncovering. He went with lifting of a veil. You got to make it sound fancy. Bonjour.
Come on. I'm Polish, okay?
Uncle Charlie says the reset. Yeah.
Do have Polish.
Could be.
Polish. Not only my Polish. I for the last time. Yes, my nails are painted. And you know what? I'm going to come out right now and tell you why.
Okay.
I wanted to paint my wife's nails. Well, she wanted me to paint her nails, so I dreamed up this color scheme immediately. And I was like, I want to do this. So I did it to my own hand first. I noticed the other one's not done.
Oh,
she needed proof of concept.
You were a test subject.
She needed proof of concept.
Understandable. Understandable. Noble.
Plus, I'm trans and gay. Deal with it, bigots.
Live your life.
Thanks for your acceptance and tolerance.
Prepping Mantis says, Porno for Pyro said it best. We make great pets. There it is. Phone getting ready to crap out. Catch the replay later. We are the Resistance Prepping. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great night. My mother Spark is hammering the Livingston Man channel in the chat, guys. Give him a like. Give him a subscribe. He does a lot of hard work here, and we really appreciate you, Livingston Man.
Also do things like don't unmute the microphones and
hey, stuff happens. Occasionally, you know.
It's live.
That's right. We have glitches.
My
Cherie wants to know if your wife knows that.
But I've been with my wife a long time. She knows everything. Everything.
500 Magnum says, despite what the left says, we are neither dangerous or crazy because we choose not to be victims. If that makes me crazy, I'm a proud maniac. Hey. Teresa Buchanan wants to know, when is the Livingston Man going to have another live?
I was thinking about it. No, I think
you should take over Tuesdays. Cherie Kirk's headed over. Give the Livingston Man a subscribe. Right on. Thank you, Cherie.
I don't have much going on there yet, but the live stream I had the other night was fun.
Yeah, and he has threatened all of our outtakes from filming YouTube videos, both past and current.
I got them all.
So
I got that insurance policy.
There's some funny stuff in there. Stray Kitten says, have you heard about nail polish remover?
I only did it like 3 days ago. Why do you want me to take it off?
He wears gloves all day at work, guys. He never sees them.
It's like I knew guys that would do stuff like this. They have like a pink lighter. They wear like an outrageous. My one buddy would wear this. It was my wife's actually. It was this pink, bright pink, Old Navy vest, and he'd wear this out. Why? Quote, I just want somebody to try to start a fight with me. Say something about my vest, bro. And said, what? I'm gonna hit him one last thing about the nails. When I was a punk rock goth, whatever the hell, in high school, I used to paint my nails black.
Okay.
This one chick couldn't get over it. Always pissed off. Like, why you got your nails painted, bro? What is that? Why do you do this? Oh my God. And I was like, you know why I do this? Because it ruins your day. Because like you can't handle it, and that's why I do that.
Hilarious. Cherie Kirk found out that gun cleaners remove nail polish. See, different strokes for different folks. Get your hops number 9 out.
One in the chat if I should remove my nail polish so I can ignore all of you.
Eric, I agree with that
now
statement.
I'm never taking it off. Now I'm doing it all the time.
Being able to laugh during the hard times makes you stronger. It definitely boosts the morale. And if you're in good spirits, you're probably going to make better decisions. So I absolutely agree with that statement. You got to have some kind of sense of humor. I always say that hope isn't a plan, but you have to hold on to hope. You absolutely have to hold on to hope.
It's, of course, anybody can find like a humor in a dark situation, or like try to make the best of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that for a true, and I'm not gatekeeping or saying that, but I think you got to have like some real you went through some trauma to be able to be like like have that black like like another day in paradise, bro. It's like watching the black rain come down. Like this is it now. To be able to just move on, like so everybody's got to have their trial by fire, and I bet you that everybody here, if you look inside yourself, you've already had it. Look to the hardest thing that ever happened to you, and look to how you got through that.
Yep, strength, man. Lucky Dame says, we don't care if you're a gay, trans, AI, Russian bot that paints its nails.
And I'm happy.
And he's happy. That's all that matters. Be happy. 500 Magnum says, what would you say is the best caliber for SHTF? Most people would say 9mm, but he doesn't think it'll last. It'll be the first to go because it's so popular. Now, we have seen the 9mm just about disappear from existence during this pandemic thing that happened, right? It just about disappeared.
22 long rifle and 12 gauge 2 3/4.
Hey, NATO calibers, right? NATO calibers, the most common things you can get: 308, 5.56, 9mm, 45. That's your go-to.
Ammo is a finite resource, unless you know somebody.
Yeah.
And even still, it's all fun and games to collect your brass. You need primers and fucking projectiles.
Yep.
And a means to make them. More likely, people will turn to homemade like pipe guns and zip guns and fucking make musket balls.
Well, 3D printers have taken that to a whole nother level,
there's going to be a 3 to 5 year period where there's like actual guns and ammo, and then it's all going to like be gone.
Yeah, then we'll be back to bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Which, if you are a local to the Hudson Valley, I'm sure you've heard of Northern Dutch's Archery. They're actually going out of business, man.
Big sales, everything must go, including the display cases. They need to sell everything. It's
all leaving.
Big sale. They got ammo, archery supplies, blah, 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 all the stuff.
Not for long, because everybody running there. P.S. They're closed right now. You can't get in there.
But not even my favorite place. The only reason I decided to share the info was because I thought in the prepping community, if there was something they could get there and get what they needed, like it's on sale, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate you, but like obscure calibers like that, like you got to think of like the commonality of firearms and what people actually have. Like this could go for hours.
Oh yeah.
On what the best caliber for this and that thing, and like it'll never stop. But
yeah, I mean, if you can reload and you have, if you're stocked up on the supplies, right? I mean, those things are going to last you a while.
No, I said 22 rimfire. Now they're non-reloadable.
Once one and done with
but
those
because
guys.
They're so plentiful, you can take a handful of them, put it in your pocket. You got like 100 and something of them.
Yep.
And especially you're not engaging human threats with such a thing, but instead like more for plinking, not really plinking, but
small game and things like that.
Putting food on the table. This could properly disciplined. This would last for a long time.
Oh yeah.
If you're into the whole like engaging enemies and whatever else, you're all going to run out of ammo really fast. I don't care who you are.
That's a bad situation. Outlaw says the best caliber is the one you have. Amen to that, my friend. But yeah, I mean something popular. As far as hunting rifles go, I think most folks would have a 270 in the cabinet or a 308.
You know how to use it, and you got plenty of it. That's all you need.
Hey. Marco says, I don't have to reload my nunchucks. Hey, that's the way to go, man. And, solar power, stun guns can be, helpful. But people got to get awful close for things like that.
especially if the EMP has ruined the
Your stun gun.
circuitry in your stun gun and or your solar generator.
Yeah, now it's just a piece of pokey plastic, right?
Well, you can try to hit him with it, I suppose. It still probably hurt.
Yeah. Cherie Kirk says you can use 223 and a 5.56, but not the other way around. Correct. The pressure. I actually had a friend who had a Mini 14, and he was firing.
You can't put that 5.56.
He was firing 5.56 out of it.
Did it a few times or more.
Well, he did it plenty of times, and what ended up happening was the bolt would come back so hard that the extractor started to do damage to the receiver. And then eventually the extractor just ripped right off and wouldn't eject the round anymore. So he constantly had failure to eject and rendered the gun useless for a while until you can get new parts and fix it.
It's a very important point. I use people, especially that run like AR platforms. If you didn't know that, now you do. If you didn't know that, of course you did. But it's a super true thing. Can't run the fucking 5.56 and a 223 chambered thing, and it'll say it on top of the barrel. In case you're new here, it says what kind of ammo to put in the fucking thing.
Yeah, if you are not into firearms and you don't know much about them, find somebody who is and ask them to take you out and teach you. If it's a big secret that you don't know anything about guns, ask somebody you trust to take you out and teach you, and just tell them that, I really don't know much about them and I need to learn how to use them safely. So that's a big thing. Get training, go out with somebody who knows first, shoot a couple different calibers, see what you like, and get yourself some way to be able to defend yourself aside from, hands and feet.
My gripe with the AR is, God darn it, is it loud. I was unprepared for guns, how loud it is. Guns are loud,
general,
but 22s go, pew, pistols go pop. Yeah. AR was like, wow, oh my God. But other than that, they're fun as hell and everything else, and they don't do anything you don't tell them to do.
Yeah, it's true. Still a 3-month wait for a FOID car in Illinois since they're trying to keep us from owning firearms here. Jeez.
Where you can try it out at their store. You can do that in like Nevada, like free states like Wyoming and Nevada. You can go to the shooting range and try out a machine gun if you want. Yeah, here in New York, no, we're not allowed to even talk about that. I'm breaking the law just having this conversation. You hear that helicopter coming?
Devil Dog, thank you so much. Yeah, guys, if you're here, if you're enjoying yourself, please do us a favor. Smash that like button. It really helps with the algorithm. Kind of keeps us relevant. We don't post videos all the time, so...
I must assume that Devil Dog Prepper was a Marine or is, and I appreciate your service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
As well as all the rest of you
who has served. We appreciate you.
He's one of them Hunter, they call him.
Patty S, I'm with you too. I've got an old 12 gauge shotgun and a couple of pistols, and that's what you can do here in New York. The muzzleloader too.
Prepping Mantis, I feel the martial arts also a good place to go if you're into it. Is learn some hand to hand and some close up stuff. Until you learn how to shoot that Hadouken though, a gun is a real equalizer against a ninja. Yeah, as long as the horde comes at you one at a time, you're good, and they will.
That's right. The muzzleloader.
The Foot Clan got 65 dudes, but they're gonna send one at a time. Is all. They ain't gonna just jump you. They would never.
Hey, I absolutely love shooting the muzzleloader. It really gives you that authentic. Oh yeah. The authentic 1776 feel. It really does.
You can smell it.
I watched Garand Thumb the other day, and he was showing off the 4 gauge Russian shotgun. Wow.
What do they call it? A punt gun?
It is a shotgun.
And you can hold it?
Oh, yeah. And it looks like one of those Mossberg shockwaves, It looks kind of small, but it's like 40 millimeter. It's huge.
What are you supposed to do with it? What's his stated purpose?
He was shooting like ballistic dummies with it and stuff. I mean, holy cow. It's a hole big enough you could toss a cat through it.
We ever see those like back in the day on like Long Island Sound and stuff? They would paddle up real slow with the giant like shotgun on the thing.
Yeah, the big duck guns.
It was just boom, boom, take out the whole flock at once, like the way New York Prepper did in that Spam video. It's like killer, man. It would blow the boat backwards, sometimes lift it right out of the water. It was crazy.
Sunzetta, thank you so very much. We really appreciate your kind comments. He says, you guys deserve a way better audience for this. I foresee great things in the near future. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. But yeah, man, get yourself a way to protect yourself. If it's a freaking, an 1800s duck gun, if it's the old
triangle bayonet, listen, they don't stitch that up.
Well, you can't have bayonets here in New York. Those are illegal.
Can't
even have a lug for it.
Don't say can't. Say you wish I wouldn't.
It's true. It's true. Yes, Outlaw, you do load it like it was. So. They have modernized the muzzle loader. They have ones that run on what they call fire sticks now. So that's your powder and your primer all in one.
So it's like a cartridge.
Essentially, but you still have to actually load the projectile down the barrel, and then you put your fire stick in, which is everything, right where your breech would go. You shove the fire stick in there and away you go.
I've seen those.
It supposedly helps keep the gun a little cleaner.
They almost are like work akin to cap guns. I've seen that sort of system.
Kind of.
I've seen ones that have like the rotating primer cylinder, so at least you don't even have to do that. Like, I don't know. Muzzle loaders have like this whole like vibe, man. Big,
I love them.
They call the smoke stick.
Smoke pole. I love that
smoke
thing.
Pole, boom stick.
Love that thing. Oh, Cherie Kirk, thank you so much for your donation. We really, really appreciate it. Sorry you weren't here last night, guys. It was Valentine's Day.
What do you want from me?
I hope you were spending it with somebody you love, or hopefully loving yourself.
We went to Red Lobster. It was it's very romantic. We shared a bottle of red.
Hunter, it does sound a little interesting, putting your fire stick in the breech. Yeah. But really cool, really nice guns. They're a little pricey, and then you got to buy specialized
stuff. They didn't used to be. And again, specialized stuff.
When you're getting into the newer technology, you're going to pay more. I like the old school, man. I like the old school. Not a flintlock, but you can build them. I would love to do that.
I wouldn't recommend it, but of course, there's people who every day just, buy like sketchy firearms out the back of people's cars in Walmart parking lots.
Yeah, it happens.
It could happen. Or, you might be just magnet fishing and you just find a bunch of them at the bottom of the lake. It's crazy. I know a lot of people where they just lost all their stuff, man. Boat went down and that was it.
Yep, sinking ship. Sad. It
was for the
graphical oddity, this place.
It was for the best. He keeps spamming the Ruger 1022, and I agree. Excellent little, amazing, reliable tack driving with
now
optics.
Pending how you have your Ruger 1022 set up in the great state of New Yorkistan, it could actually be an assault weapon.
You guys, it could be because of them accessories.
Be careful. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
You know what's funny though is like I have like power tools and weed eaters at work that have what could classify as like militarized accessories. I got triggered
forward grips.
I got I have like pistol grips. I have like I don't have optics on the weed eater, but that'd be good. But I mean, at what point, I have circular saws that have military features. He's got a detachable magazine and just slam it home. You mean he can just pull out a new battery and jam it in like that and cut 10 more boards?
Yeah,
we got to stop him.
It's true. Vision preparedness. What's happening, my brother? Vision preparedness will be covering tomorrow night all things Ohio train derailment because, well, man, it's right in my man's backyard. So. Like I said, I rambled about it a little bit earlier, but he's going to have the word for us tomorrow evening. So I'll definitely be checking him out tomorrow night. And I want to know what the locals are saying. And that's the best way to get it right there. The Sawzall says Frugal Fixer. Yeah. Forward grip on that sucker. Yeah.
It's already it doesn't have the forward grip, but I suppose you could probably get it on Amazon. We should check. But mine's got the like traditional style. But what I wish you could have is like a collapsible stock for it. You ever put one up against something and it starts doing this? Like
man.
if I had the stock, it'd be awesome. Like,
yeah. Squid, you are absolutely right. It is very fucky out there, and it's gonna get more fucky, guys. It's gonna get more fucky. It certainly ain't going to get any better.
That's it.
Well, not very fast anyway, that's for sure.
You guys, the good news is it gets worse before it gets worse. So we hope maybe it's not a good plan, but what we can have is a little bit of closure and certainty.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll ever get the truth. The truth is dead and buried, unfortunately, with all of these incidents going on.
Truth is subjective. Truth has become a belief, not an absolute.
Absolutely. And we're on the slippery slope, man. We are heading downhill. If we turned everything around today with the things that have happened in the recent past, it still may take us decades to get back to what we deem as acceptable and normal. And things just seem to get a little crazier every day. So
Lucky Dame said it's been fucky for 3 years. But if you think back, I mean, one, she's right. Two, it's been fucky like our whole lives. If you really start to think it back, the whole damn thing has been just fucky. Like,
yeah. Yep, it's true. It's true. Militant Farmer says you can't handle the truth. And you know what, buddy? You're right. I don't think a lot of people could. I think if the actual truth came out, it would...
Wait, what are you supposed to do with it?
People might revolt.
What are you supposed to do with it?
People might revolt.
We're going to tell you the truth.
They can't... You know, the client list that everybody's talking about, right? The client list. They didn't release that for reasons of national security.
And it tells you everything you need to know.
And what you do get will be heavily redacted. And, you know, some key names will be left off of that. I guarantee it. And they play games, they, shovel some dirt on it and then throw this over it. And,
they remove it from the public memory.
As we've seen, the Elon Musk letting us see behind the veil of Twitter and all the files that he was able to grab up when he took control of the place. Which I don't know how the hell they let all of that exist. Maybe they just really didn't think that they were doing anything wrong. There was a hell of a trail there. I mean, at least Hillary Clinton would, smash her computers and, burn all her cell phones. But he let you see behind the veil that the government controls what they want people to see and hear, right?
The Twitter, I don't mean to equate the Twitter files with evil. But what I mean in the context is that in history, most of the most evil things that were done by people who thought they were doing right.
See, exactly. The same thing with Twitter, kind of crushing the free speech. They thought that they were doing the right thing, that they were fighting for the right people. When the FBI or the CIA comes to you and says, hey, we shouldn't be letting this really get out. This is disinformation. Even though it was true, they're controlling the narrative is what it comes down to. And they're telling you what to think. They're telling you...
The word comes down from up top. You do what you're told. It's instinct, really.
Yeah. Well, history is full of people who
following orders.
Exactly. Showing us what's behind the curtain is a two-edged sword. It lets us know about powerlessness. You're absolutely rapture ready. Absolutely right.
I think about that sentiment a lot. Is that and I'm always saying it's that they blatantly show you this. They put it right in your face, and it's almost as if they dare you to. What are you gonna do about it? And the answer is nothing, because what can you?
Exactly. I mean, everybody's got to go to work tomorrow. Everybody's got bills to pay.
There's like a little bit of masochism in it. It's like a sub-dom relationship.
It's rough, man. It's rough.
Everybody knows which one I am.
Wife bought an AR in 410. It was hard to find the ammo. Wow.
I would imagine it's hard to find the gun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So
that's pretty cool.
To be clear, I mean, just for the sake of this conversation, that's very interesting. Is it a semi-automatic box fed 410?
Yes.
That's
AR
vicious.
style. Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Vicious.
We got to move to some place where we can have stuff like that.
Man, the sound of that thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, she can put the 45 long Colts in it, I suppose, right?
Ooh, could you imagine? High Flyer, you missed everything. Everything. You're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning and restart. You're going to give us one long lap all the way back around. But thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. We all gonna die Wednesday, folks. So many reasons why we all gonna die this Wednesday.
If you look
shake it off, man. Shake it off. We are the survivors. We are the people who are going to make it.
Can I leave them with something? Well,
Absolutely.
I'll let you have the last word.
No. Please. But, drop some knowledge.
If you ever seen the movie Pi, P-I, and actually it's the symbol for Pi is the title. Much ado about numerology and all this weird stuff when they kind of break down some interesting things. But the one thing that points out to me is where the guy says he's looking for a 216-digit number. And he can't stop obsessing over it. And the guy says He's like, stop. If you look for 216, you're going to find it. Everywhere you look, you're going to see 216 leaves on the tree, 216 tiles on the floor, 200 in this. But so in line with what you're saying is if we look for doom, death, and destruction and lies and conspiracy, then we'll find it.
Absolutely.
So perhaps what we should start looking for
is the good.
Is community, preparedness, the faith and trust in each other.
Absolutely.
And ourselves. And start adopting that mindset.
Yeah, man.
Stop looking for the bad stuff. If you look for the bad, you're going to find it. You're looking for trouble, son, because you found it.
That's right.
I'm done here.
So, hey, everybody, stay safe. Stay vigilant. Keep your heads on straight. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Stay focused on what you're doing, your preparedness, practicing with your preps.
Keep doing you. You made it this far. You're a survivor.
Maybe a mock bug out, just how long is it going to take you to throw the stuff in the car and get out of here? Explorer Nation, thank you so much for joining us from the UK. We appreciate the replay. Thank you so much, my friend. But yeah, man, practice. Even if it's just throwing the stuff in the car and running down to the gas station down the road, how long to get out, gas up, and be gone.
Pitch your tent in your backyard. Pitch your tent in your living room. Pull out your stuff and try it.
Practice. If you have a tourniquet and it's still in the plastic wrapper,
you're dead.
Come on.
You're dead.
Come on, take it out, stage it, get ready to use it if you need it.
Watch the video, don't just read the headline. What does that mean?
That's right. You got to watch the whole video.
Oh, I thought you was like, okay, I got it now.
No,
I thought you were telling me. I'm like, I didn't watch.
Giveth, the article taketh away.
I didn't watch the video or read the headline. I can't read.
Vision preparedness, situational awareness is the key. Shauna Wood, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Granite State Prepper says everyone pitch a tent. Amen, my friend. But yeah, guys, stay safe. Practice with your survival gear. And we will catch y'all on the next We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Hudson Valley Prepping Survival. And we're out of here.